One of us is the Ultra Trail Cape Town champion for 2025, and the other person just wishes they were. I'll give you 2 seconds to figure out who is who. Yep, if you guessed that person, that's Jeff Mogavero, the 2025 Ultra Trail Cape Town champion. We are chatting gear, logistics, shoes, and especially the fit. Jeff, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm not sure if I'm Jeff or now I'm Brett. I don't know what's happening. There's two of me. There's one of me.
Maybe Jeff did the intro.
Yeah, I'm just so glad we're both wearing flappy hats.
Yeah, and not only flappy hats, the on flappy hat, although your logo's way bigger than mine. I guess
That's quite cool.
that's being a pro versus just being a wannabe pro.
This is a special flappy hat, not available to the public.
Wow. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to deep dive a little bit more into that. I guess before we get going, we can take some of this stuff off to be more comfortable for the conversation.
Oh yeah.
We don't want to confuse the listeners too much.
Yep, they won't know who's who. Well, it feels great taking that off.
Oh wait, I can't put my headphones on over my hat. I tied the ice bandana on my headphones. Man. The props.
Ice bandanas are tough.
Props are a lot of work. Yeah, I feel like ice bandanas, they've gotten better, but they're still a little bit of a work in progress.
Yeah, the knot in front can cause issues.
Yeah,
like forgetting to tie it, which I did a few times.
You just like put it on and it fell off.
The last aid station of UTCT, I ran off and it wasn't tied. And then I went and picked it up and it just looked like I had a dirty diaper strapped around my neck.
Nice.
Because it fell in the dirt. And if you look close at the finisher photos, it looks like a baby pooped on my shoulder. It's pretty sick.
Nice. That's good. See, well, like humanizes you a little bit. Like even the people who are winning the race, they still make occasional little boo-boos.
Little boo-boos, big boo-boos. We make them all.
All right, Jeff, you've had quite the year of running. I guess for those who maybe aren't familiar, Jeff has now you now have the fastest debut Western States run. That was pretty fun to watch. I got to see that moderately up close. I've actually known you for quite some time now.
Yeah, back when I briefly lived in Oregon in 2017.
Yeah, what were you doing then?
I worked for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service doing work with endangered suckers.
What's an endangered sucker?
Like the fish. There's these really cool suckers that they're super big. And yeah, they're like very long lived too. I think they're like 40 years old they can get to, but they're endangered in Klamath Lake. And I see. Living in Klamath Falls, playing with fish.
Cool. And you're now residing in Missoula, one of the hottest trail towns in the U.S., right?
Oh yeah, in Missoula.
So that's actually kind of an interesting spot to start. I know it hasn't been like particularly warm there in the last few weeks. And Ultra Trail Cape Town has historically been a pretty warm race. I mean, looking at a lot of the pictures and following along in the live stream, you were looking nearly identical to Western States. So how did you train and prepare for the heat this time around versus States, or was it different at all?
It was super different. I basically did nothing this time.
Really?
Yeah. We've had a fairly mild fall, so it's just been like highs in the 40s to like 50. So nothing remotely close to anything resembling heat. But for some reason, I was like, oh, UTCT is like not that hot and technical. It's like warm. And like, I'm sure I don't know what I was thinking. It's like the most technical race I've ever done in my life.
That's what I've always heard.
Yeah, it's heinous. It's so sick. It's awesome. And it's also pretty hot. And I'd had aspirations of doing more heat training. And then I was just tired. Like this fall had like a lot of life stress. And I decided not to barrel through with heat training and do one other thing that was going to wear me out. I did one sauna session and was like hungover the next day. Like
Oh
I was
wow.
just trashed. And I was like, I think that's not great. So I probably did like 5 sauna sessions and a couple hot baths. But whereas for states, was sauning consistently through the winter and then like a month of pretty focused sauning. And then I did 8 days straight of like active heat training my friend is a researcher at the University of Montana and they have a heat chamber. So I was like in a heat chamber on a treadmill at a 30% incline, 3 miles an hour. And then it was like 110 degrees with like 60% humidity. So it was the heat index was like 180.
Yeah, that sounds
And
terrible.
yeah, I'd sweat through, I would drink 2 full liters while I was in there. And it like wasn't enough.
What is
Um,
there even anywhere on Earth that can get that hot and
no,
humid?
no, that's what he said. He said, we're going to do it in conditions that cannot occur on Earth.
Wow, so you're
Um,
like full Martian training for
so we're
Western
like,
states.
we get out and just like, I'm red, like I've been squeezed out. I did not do that for this race.
Interesting. So I guess the follow-up question there is, did you notice your lack of heat training here at Ultra Trail Cape Town?
So I, yes and no, but I also didn't necessarily notice my heat training at States. I've taken the
Hmm.
approach for Javelina was also hot when I did it. I think it was like
Right.
98 or so. And for that race and States and now UTCT, it's not that I don't trust heat training, but like if you heat train, you still get hot when it's 95 out. Like it's not
Hmm.
like you're just poof, you're good. Like it's still brutal. And so I've taken the approach of extremely aggressive cooling, which is why I wear my dumb outfit. Um, I don't want to wear a Saharan cap and arm sleeves, but I do.
Oh, really?
Um,
Oh, I
it's
figured
not
that was just
I wear it, just walking around town, but
yeah, that's what I figured.
it's not my preference.
Oh,
I just learned years ago that I'm horrible in the heat, and I maintain that I am horrible in the heat. I'm not
interesting.
horrible if I cool, because then it's not hot. Um,
Okay.
and so I started UTCT with an ice bandana. I am certain I was the only one, and it was like 63 at the start. Um, but I essentially, if a race is over 60, I will wear an ice bandana every minute it's over 60 degrees.
Wow. Okay.
And that's just like I don't do well in the heat, whether I'm heat
Yeah.
trained or not. And so my feeling is if I'm sweating, that's unnecessary work that I'm doing. If I could be cooling and just not having to sweat
Yeah, that's
and let
probably
the water
true.
do it for me. Yeah, and then if you're
Yeah.
heat trained, it works even better. At States, I had too much ice on in hindsight. Like I was never hot for a second. Um,
Do you think you were to a point where you were like carrying around unnecessary weight of
Pounds of
ice?
unnecessary ice. Yes.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember like looking like you and Killian went back and forth a ton at Western States, and you had the hat, the
I had,
sleeves, the bandana.
I had
Y-
10 pounds more ice on than he did.
Killian had one ice bandana and a singlet, like full old school.
Yeah.
But it was interesting that it also seemed to work for him too. I mean, he also talked publicly about his massive like heat training block that he was doing over in Norway. So
Yeah.
um,
I'd say for
yeah,
States, I was probably, I'd have to imagine I was among the best heat adapted. Um,
you'd
just,
think.
yeah, with my friend Peanut, who's my pacer, Dr. Alejandro Rosales is his full name, but Peanut is what we all know him as. He paced me from Forest Hill to the river or to Green Gate, and he's doing a postdoc right now, and all of his research is on heat acclimation and altitude acclimation. Um, and so it's incredible having that as a resource. And he kind of guided my heat training protocol and Adams as well. And like I know there's not much more I could have done going into state
Yeah,
that's even remotely proven to be effective. Um,
totally.
and
Huh.
so yeah, it was really confidence boosting going into states with that. But I still cooled. I think part of the reason I did well in the race was I just cooled really aggressively, and now next year it's like, okay, well, how do I fine tune that and carry less ice? It's like I think that slowed me down
Right.
a little. Um, yeah, and like find that line of
Totally. Now, switching back over to Cape Town, I mean, logistically, it doesn't seem uh, nearly as easy to have that many spots during the race to cool, especially with like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess. Did you have kiddie pools full of ice at
no,
Ultra Trail
they
Cape
don't do
Town?
ice that way in anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, I
Um,
know the U.S. is a little unique in that regard. So, what was it like then having to figure out the logistics for a hot race that is also in South Africa?
yeah, so I flew over with one of the cooler backpacks I used for Western States. I just got like a couple of them from Costco before States, and
Mm.
brought one of those along. And then my crew was Meg McKenzie, who's also my manager, and so she was super helpful. And she's from South Africa, and
Right. Okay.
she like filled up an ice bandana at the hotel in the morning, and then after that she went and filled the backpack like at a gas station
Oh wow.
with ice, and would just like after each aid would just like get more ice. Um, Not quite the like fill 100 liter Yeti with ice situation of States, but I also brought a pitcher that I had used at States, and so she'd fill that to the top with like ice water. Um,
Mm.
I don't really mess around with sponges. I'm like, just pour a pitcher of water on me.
Okay.
Because sponges, every time I see someone cool at an aid station, I don't know what they're doing because they're like dabbing with a sponge. And like, that's nice, but like, the best thing would be to be in an ice bath. And if you can't be in an ice bath, pour it on yourself.
Right.
So I just have my crew pour as much water the whole time as they can. It's a little messier, but it's really effective. So
So you flew to South Africa with your own pitcher.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Um,
dedication right there.
I mean, it's not that big, but yeah, I flew there with a pitcher and an ice backpack or a cooler backpack, a couple ice bandanas, and then the difference with UTCT versus States or Javelina is like you've got at least an hour between aid stations, probably more. Like there's one section that's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's super long.
and it was no one knows what the temperature was. I've heard very conflicting things. In Cape Town, my iPhone said the high was going to be 80. On course, like our photographer said his car read like 92. So I don't know how hot it was, but it was hot. The
Yeah.
UV index is also 12, and I didn't know the UV index could get that high.
I actually don't know anything about UV index
It's
at all.
super
So like
super high. This is like like
12's a big
extreme
deal.
because there's like a hole in the ozone layer over the Antarctica, and it like moves around throughout the year, and it's over South Africa, and so there's just no ozone layer blocking UV, and so it's just
Oh,
full
okay.
sun. So that's why I wore the arm sleeves as well. Was I figure if you burn your skin, you're like damaging an organ that you're using, and that's probably not good. So arm sleeves is just easier than sunscreen, and that's same with the hat. It like covers my ears. My ears burn easily, so bundled myself up. Looked like I was running Marathon des Sables or Badwater or something, or States, I guess.
Or
And
Western states.
yeah, yeah. And then I carried like on this one 2 hour section, I had 4 liters of water going into it, so that I could use 1 liter solely for wetting myself. So I never got dry. The second I started like
Okay.
feeling a little dry, I'd spray myself down with water and like blast myself in the face. Whatever it took.
That actually brings up an interesting uh, point. I just saw on the Precision Hydration's Instagram page they like published the stats for
Mm-hmm.
your run of like your average carbs per hour, fluid per hour. And I think it was the same as states. Your fluid
Very similar.
consumption is very low, like
Yeah,
relative to what I would have thought for someone who says they're not good in the heat and a little taller. You got a little more surface area going
yeah,
on.
totally. Um, it is lower. Every time I like do the math, and there's always some user error in those self-reporting things. I tend to underestimate versus overestimate. Like if I'm not sure, if I think the aid station Roctane was like mixed low, I count that as being mixed low. I think
Hmm.
some people are like, I had the aid station drink. It's XYZ. And I'm like, no way. It's definitely diluted.
Yeah.
So I think with the water, like maybe I had another 500 milliliters than that. Like I squirted some in my mouth here and there, but not dramatically different than the numbers that are
But it
on my
wasn't
text.
much more than like a bottle and change per hour.
Like bottle and a half, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is staying cool and like not getting hot. Because I've done sweat testing at the lab at the university here, and in 90-degree heat with like low humidity, I was turning over like 2.2 liters an hour, um, which is not sustainable. Like you can't keep doing that. You need to
You have to
cool.
slow down,
So if you
essentially.
cool and you sweat less, like I guess my thesis is cooling. Like cooling is more important than heat training. Um, and if you take it seriously and like really aggressively cool, you are not hot. And so it's like you're running and it's 60 out, not 85.
Yeah. That makes sense. And
Yeah. Let
yeah,
the
I
water
think that,
sweat for you. Spray yourself down.
yeah. Hmm. That's cool. Yeah, I wanted to hear from your point of view why your numbers were the way they were. And
I
then
think
was
that's
it
the
carbs per
reason.
hour? You were like 90ish.
99.
Yeah,
But
99.
most, like, I didn't eat the last really hour and a half. I had very little. Um,
Was that because?
I just felt, I dropped back to third. I think it was like mile 53. And was running with Matt Healy from South Africa. And got really bloated feeling. Like, I was like, oh, like all of a sudden I just felt bloated. Like I hadn't
Hmm.
digested anything all day. I don't know if this is like a blockage happening or what, but I'm like,
Oh,
God, this is so uncomfortable. And I kind of dawned on me then. I was like, I don't think I can eat anything from here to the finish. Like I think I can either push as hard as I can or eat. And I don't think I can do both. I tried. I
yeah.
think I had like, I drank, so I had some drink mix and then a little bit of carbs, but it was pretty low that last 90 minutes.
And maybe because you had stayed on top of your feeling so well up to that point, that gave you a little bit of runway.
I think that all the time, just compared to like 8 years ago in this sport, like I'd have a gel an hour, you know?
Yeah.
It's
One
not so
one
much of a
goo, one
better
goo per hour.
one goo. Yeah, it was terrible. Um, I'm remembering, I think with you running Lake Sonoma back in like 2018 or so, um, 2019. I feel like you were there, and
Maybe I feel like, oh gosh, now I'm like, how much did Jeff beat me by?
there's a year I
My
just
God.
exclusively fueled with expired vanilla Cliff Shot, and it was the worst thing in the world.
Oh yes, of course. I have your results all pulled up. Lake Sonoma 50 mile 2018. You got sixth
Yeah, I remember
and
me,
six.
you, and Ryan Gelfie were
Yeah.
out there.
Oh man, I don't even want to see how I did. Can't find the results. Sorry, too bad. Um,
But it was back
yeah,
then
it's
was when I
amazing.
started realizing how poorly I do in the heat. Um, I went back in
Mm,
2019 and I like
yeah.
had my first ice bandana, and I was so excited. And
Well, and it was still kind of like a novelty thing where
yeah,
I feel like even in 2018, 2019, there was almost that like unspoken rule of like you're not tough if you're doing all this extra fancy schmancy cooling,
yeah. I
kind of
mean,
like eating.
people still don't do it well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like I watched the whole Western States live stream from 2024 while like preparing for 2025, and I just sit there and watch it in real time. I wouldn't do anything else. Like I would just sit and watch it.
Wow.
And I'd watch every single person go through every single aid station. And I could see what people were doing. And people's crews were like patting them with sponges or like dribbling water on them.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, wait, I feel like that's helpful, but like, why not do more? And so that's where I got the pitcher idea. I'm like, sponges are gone. We're using pitchers. And I had my crew had like two pitchers on me at all times. And yeah, I think people still struggle fully embracing cooling because like it's a little extra, but it helps.
See, and like I always get worried. I always get in my head about like I'm wet, I'm gonna start chafing, blah blah blah. But then like every time I've ever done it, it's actually never happened.
You'll only notice the chafing when you dry out. You're
Yeah.
fine while you're wet.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is. Is like once you start it, like you can't stop. It's like
Yeah.
opening a can of Pringles.
I've told some people I coach to embrace the sog. Just go be, you got to be soggy the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it helps.
So okay, so going back to old stroke, like if you were to give a little bit, like we don't need like a start to finish recap of the race, but you know, I'm going to jump to the last 10 minutes real quick. I mean, one of the most exciting probably race finishes of the year was you and Dimitri in the last 10 minutes of the race, which the live stream did a beautiful job of
Yeah.
capturing. That with runner cams on both you and Dimitri, and they were both kind of like panning to both of you, and then
Yeah.
they split
Yeah.
screened it on the live stream, so we got to see it from two different angles. Were you always like when the race started? Were you like, I got to be at the front, like in it to win it, or like how was your place wise throughout the day? Because I didn't the time zones they made it a
They're
little
tough.
tough.
They're tough. Yeah, I started out and I was like, I feel good. I'm just going to go. And the first 14 are runnable. And I was like, well, these are the only miles that are even remotely similar to where I train. I might as well use them while I got them.
Mm,
And so I built a little lead early on, and it was like 4 to 5 minutes by mile 34, Hout Bay. You like run across this beach, and I was like sick. I'm gonna go wire to wire, win this thing. Great. And then I missed a turn.
okay, so I didn't make that up.
I definitely missed a turn, and people
Okay,
are giving me shit for it because like there's a huge Garmin arch that you run through, and like
yeah,
I didn't see it because you're running
wow,
along this beach, and the course markings they'd marked at high tide, so they don't, get washed away. But
mm,
everyone runs, 20,
oh,
30 feet to the right of them, closer to the water on like firm sand. And so I'm
yeah,
running along the firm sand, and I know that there's this creek crossing, and then after that, somewhere after that's the aid station. But I was certain it was like at the end of the beach. So I'm thinking end of the beach. And you're
oh,
running,
okay,
and there's like dogs running around. There's people you're dodging. Like they don't know there's a race happening. It's just me. There's a camera runner to my left who's like parallel with me. And so I'm not looking constantly to my left, like, so I'm kind of distracted by the camera runner. Like I don't want to like stare at him. And we cross the creek, and then I just keep going. Like I didn't think, and there's no sign on the beach that says like an arrow. Maybe there
oh,
was, but it
okay,
was like 20 feet to my left where the
right,
course markings were, which kind of in like the vast expanse of sand get lost. So yeah, I run all the way to the end of the beach, get up onto the road that parallels the beach, and just stop. And I'm like, I asked the camera runner, I'm like, do you know where the course is? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, what? It's got to be around here somewhere. And I start running back along the road, and then Chris Myers is running towards me. And I'm like, oh no, Chris caught me. And then he told me he dropped out, which made
oh,
sense because he didn't have a pack on. And he's like, dude, you missed it. You got to go this way. And he like takes me back on course.
oh,
Um,
wow,
and as I'm getting back on course, I look, and Dimitri's 50 meters behind me. And it was then I was like, great. I just ran an extra half mile, and actually more than that,
in
and like blew
sand.
blew 4 to 5 minutes. Yeah, I ran on sand and some road, but I was like, there goes my lead. Shit. And I didn't. I feel like in the past that might have gotten in my head, but this time I go on the aid station. And I'm just like, Dimitri's right there. I blew a turn. I gotta go, and like
Hmm.
quickly pivoted. And my thought was, I put 4 minutes on him in the first 50K. I just have to keep running my race, and I'll put 4 minutes on him on the second 50K. Like if I just continue on, I'm fine. And for some
Yeah.
reason, I was like, great, good, I'm fine. And then he caught me. You climb up a road, and then it gets this steep, hot, exposed climb. And this section's like 2 hours between aid stations. It's really
Okay.
long, and like the hottest part of the day, full sun, no shade. Um, Dimitri had like an ice cube in his vest. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, he was just
Unbelievable.
like singlet, no hat.
No sunglasses.
Just
Incredible. that UV
raw
didn't
dogging
phase
it
him.
out
Just
there. No.
absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
Um, that is straight up what I was thinking. What the hell's going on? And then Dimitri passed me, gave me like this great butt slap. I was like, oh, what a nice guy. And then I decided, I was like, well, I'm just going to stay right on his heels and like not let him put any time on me. And then I felt him back off a bit, and I was like, oh, he thought he could drop me. And so then I
Mm.
surged and I tried to drop him. And after like a mile, where it started stretching out a little. I mean, I'm talking like 20, 30 feet. All of a sudden, I started getting really lightheaded. And
Hmm.
he quickly passed me, and I had like 30 minutes of like everything was kind of shimmery, and my head was like swimming, and I was walking a lot, and it was like, holy shit. All of a sudden, I just got to survive this. It's like, there's no aid station
Interesting.
coming up. Like, I was like, just try to keep eating a little, try to keep drinking. I was just squirting my face with water, like trying to wake up, kind of. And I was just waiting for a line of people to come past me. And
Wow.
after like a half hour, I started just to feel a little better. I was like, okay, I can like move decently well again. I'm not like I was literally stumbling, like falling
Hmm.
down before.
Any
And
idea why?
I have no idea. I don't like it. I had been fueling. It was also weird. I was kind of freaked out a little bit, but I was like, just like take a deep breath, keep moving, you're good. If you have to sit down, whatever, just keep going. And then I saw Dimitri on a climb ahead of me, and like he passed this pile of rocks, and I was like, okay, I gotta count that. Like I like checked my watch. I'm like, all right, I think it was like 6 minutes ahead of me. And then I found out later on it was like 7 minutes ahead of me at this one water stop, and I was just like, if I keep going hard, I can close 7 minutes in the next 20 miles. Like I can do that. And I guess I did. But I just kept telling myself, I was like, you cannot let Dimitri beat you by anything less than 4 minutes, or else that's just your fault. You lost this race. And
Oh,
so it was
because of the
kind of this little
turn.
fire the whole time. I was like, that
Hmm.
wrong turn, take out the wrong turn, and then it's like not an exciting finish though. But and I didn't think I had it until it happened.
Yeah.
I got past at mile 53 and moved into third place, and then I hadn't seen Dimitri in 15 miles. So the
And
last
then you just started raging.
kinda, I we left the last aid station, and it's like this sandy, runnable single track uphill. It's like, yeah, it's runnable. And I look up and I see Matt ahead of me, and he's walking, and immediately I was like, he's mine. I got him. Like I'm running, he's toast. And like he kept walking, and I was like, I have to get him by the steep part of this climb. And so the climb
Hmm.
goes up, hits a flat road, and I just like opened up on the road, started rapidly closing on him, and then there's this brutal, super steep climb that's like just like kind of eroded trail and like rocky, gravelly. It's very slow and like super steep, and it's also really hot. It's always like the hottest part of the day, exposed, and there's always a hot breeze. It's not like a refreshing
Hmm.
breeze. You're like, oh great, it's like a
It's like a
convection
hair
oven.
dryer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the whole day the breeze was like hot. Um, but so I just started going up that and kind of just put my head down and like grunted up it as hard as I could and started gapping Matt. And then I look up and I see Dimitri ahead of me, and he's way closer than I thought. And I was like, I just have to lose my mind. I just have to go. And I knew it was going to you hit this trail called the contour path, which makes it sound like it contours around a mountain and is flat. And it's flat for like a quarter mile. And then it's just, I mean, you can't run, there's no rhythm in this course ever. And you're like running, and then there's just chunky rocks, and you have to like climb up something for 15 seconds and then climb down something. And then there's chunky, rocky single track. And there's another little climb. And you just have no sense of where you are. Like I didn't really know
Hmm.
how far Dimitri was the whole time, but I felt like I was like, I think I've got to be gaining ground on him. And only the very end, I could see him enter. You drop off that trail on switchbacks that are like all cobble, like it's really rocky. And I saw him hitting that, and I was like, 2 minutes. He's 2 minutes
Oh,
ahead of
okay.
me. There's 2.5 miles, a minute per mile. Like I can run 5:30 pace right now. Why not? And I didn't know if I could, but I tried. Like as soon as it was like you could run, I just pressed on the gas as hard as I could, and like I didn't know if I could keep it up to the finish. I had no idea, and I felt like I was in a cross country race in high school, and you're like
Mm-hmm.
kicking too early or something, and like sprinting someone out, and then, but then like in this situation, the race just like kept going. It's like I just have to find a way to keep going, and so when I passed Dimitri, it's like a bunch of like baby head sized rocks on the
Yeah, those
ground.
look terrible.
It was horrible. I mean, I don't remember them. I'd run that section in advance and like I knew it was horrible, but like when I think back to passing Dimitri, I'm like, I don't even know what was happening. And I almost
Yeah.
took out one of the camera runners. He like missed a turn and I
Mm-hmm.
like put out my arm to like stiff arm him. Because he could have taken me out. He didn't. We were good. And he actually messaged me on Instagram and was like, oh, I'm sorry about that, dude. I really didn't mean to. I was like, you're good. That turn comes up fast. But past Dimitri and he responded and went with me. And then
Which was awesome.
oh, and it was terrifying. And then, like,
It was
I
so
was like,
fun to watch.
holy shit, no, I have to keep going. And then there's a little uphill, and he started gaining back. He gained a little
Mm-hmm.
ground on me, and I was like, that was where it felt like a high school 5K. It was like I like half shut my eyes and was just like trying to get to the top of the hill, but then I had to keep going, and we're both like, like yell breathing, and we start going downhill again, and I hear him let out this like wail, like he's been like stabbed, and I just like I got him, that he's done,
Oh, that was like
and
the
and that's when
the
that's when the gap
okay.
started forming. Like he's like ah, and just and then I'm also doing the same thing though, but like slightly more triumphant feeling. But I didn't trust that I had him until like truly the very end.
Oh man. So yeah, you got to enjoy like 0% of the last 20 miles of that race.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but but like the finish, it wasn't like, oh, here I am at the finish, it's like the champion's journey. I was like crossed the line and just
You face planted.
I just went down. Like I think I just my body was like, you're done. And
Yeah.
this is I keep doing that. I don't mean to. I guess I'm more dramatic than I think I am. And I don't know. I just like I sometimes I'm like, what if you finish one of these things and we're just like, yay, like hands in the air, and then I finish races and I'm just like out.
Yeah. I guess that means you're a
Like
hard racer.
I gave it everything I had.
Do you think was there anything that you feel like you took into Ultra Trail Cape Town from I guess really any of your races this year leading up to it that served to be like a big advantage or just like a boost in general? Like, were there any big learnings from Western states where you were like, yes, absolutely do this again, or like, don't do that?
I think honestly, I think a lot of it was in preparation. This past year, I've gotten a lot better at listening to my body and like life. And
Mm,
there are times to push and there are times to take a day off. And so, like, I usually take Mondays off, but in what was supposed to be my like biggest week for this race, I had like a 5 hour long run planned and like a workout, and I took the day completely off and then never did the workout. And best thing I could have done.
yeah.
And I think a former me would have just gone out for a 5 hour run and like hobbled it in and been miserable. And I don't think that's helpful.
Do you
Um,
think that's like just due to your maturity as a runner, or like confidence in the long term fitness? Like, where do you
I think I think
where did
both.
that fix come
Yeah.
from?
Like last winter, I had this. I got kind of cooked. I was doing skimo. I was on the U.S. national team and like was down in Salt Lake City for a week, racing national championships. Was sick for the second half of that. Came home sick, and then a week later got sick again, and then 2 days later left for a 2 week trip to Europe to race, and I got like violently ill on that trip. I like raced a World Cup
Oh,
the next night, threw up all night, and was like I couldn't move, couldn't get out of bed. And then me and David Sinclair, I had to drive the rental car because he couldn't drive stick, and so I was like I was like barely conscious and drove.
David Sinclair exposed. Can't drive a
You
stick
can't
shift.
drive stick. Come on,
Oh
David.
my gosh.
So I had to drive like 8 hours to France for this race, and like I was like a shell of a human.
Oh my god.
Raced a 2 day stage race, and then came home, and my partner was just like, "Hi, nice to see you." Like it's been like 5 weeks of me just going, and I was just crushed, like so crushed. And I was supposed to go back to Europe in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to race World Championships in Piramenta, which is a 4 day teams race, and I just pulled the plug on that trip, and I was like, "This is too much. Like I got to tap out. I'm not paid to ski." Um, and like I love it, but like I got to start running, and also I'm so stressed. And I kind of just acknowledged that I was human and like had stress, and it was also like hard on our relationship. Like I was gone a bunch and like stressed, which doesn't like help your
Yeah,
partner. And
for
so
sure.
I canceled my trip and just decided to learn how to cook. And
Yeah.
now I'm the cook in the house, and I love cooking.
Nice.
Um,
Any
but that was like this
go-tos?
oddly pivotal moment of realizing like life stress is real, and I should just like make muffins and take a day off if I need to.
I love that. What are some of your cooking staples? You bake?
I make sourdough. I don't think it's like the best sourdough in the world, but like it's better than
Oh.
not having. It's like I'm not like an artisan, you know. I get so overwhelmed by like you pick up the book Tartine and you're like, oh my god, this is like organic chemistry and art.
You're not cutting. Are you cutting works of art into your loaves
I
before
just do
you
a
bake them?
line.
Oh, okay. Just
I'm
one
not
line.
messing around with little cute things. But I bake
Okay.
like a couple. I bake a lot, like a few loaves a week. We eat a lot of bread.
Nice.
Doing
Okay.
that today.
That's good. It seems like sourdoughs, that seems to be like a common thread amongst a lot of elite endurance athletes.
It's a good way to do stuff. It's nice with like balancing training where like I tend to be like a higher volume runner, and I love high volume. Like it's so fun. And but then I get back from like a 4 hour run, and I mean, you're just kind of useless. And I
Right.
joke that
Yeah.
it's like I literally in my Google Calendar, I'm like, oh, 4 hours of running, and then I have a block for like if it's a 4 hour run, like 90 minutes of stare at the wall time, where I'm just like assume I'm incapable of doing anything. And I've given I now can give myself more of that time of just don't do anything. And some of that starts being filled with like cooking or baking, which is really great because it's a fun way to be involved with what you're fueling yourself with.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always said that if you want to be a good, professional runner or professional endurance athlete, you also have to be a professional at recovering.
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's I recover a lot more than I used to.
That's good.
I'm no longer
Um,
22. I can't do what I used to do.
yeah. I say that actually
I had some heroic hungover
makes a
long
difference.
runs, and uh, like I remember working at a running store for 8 hours and getting off at 5 p.m. like in the winter, and leaving from the store and running like a 25-mile long run in the dark on snow, and it was like 10 degrees out, and then get back home and like the next morning like run again at 7 in the morning, and then go work all day. And I thankfully don't have to do that anymore. Yeah, I know some people do, and it's incredible. I don't think it's necessarily sustainable for your whole life.
Yeah. It's a tough schedule to do like year in, year out for sure.
Yeah.
We've been chatting for 39 minutes and I haven't once brought up shoes. So I feel like people are going to be
Oh, dude,
pissed at
let's
me
chat
about that.
shoes.
Okay. So first question, what shoes did you wear for the race?
I wore the Cloud Ultra Pro.
And that was what you also wore Western States, right?
Yeah, it's the
And
best shoe in the world.
is that the greatest shoe of all time?
It so like I feel like professional runners like have to be like, oh, my sponsor shoe is the best shoe ever. Um, On came out with the Cloud Ultra Pro, and it's actually my favorite shoe I've ever worn. So I'm like so thrilled that it is, because if it wasn't, I couldn't like actually say that, you know, I'd feel guilty, but it's incredible. And it, yeah, for this race, so it has I think it's a nylon plate. It's not a carbon plate.
Yeah.
And that was a very conscious decision from the shoe designers because they did testing and found the carbon plate decreased uphill efficiency. I think it was too rigid.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put a little more forgiving plate in there. And out of the box, it's still very stiff. If I was running like Javelina, I'd run with it out of the box. But for states, I probably put like 10, 15 miles on it, and it softens just a little bit in that initial batch. For
Right.
this race, because it's very technical, I think I put maybe like 40 or 50 miles on them
Okay.
consciously because it just gets a little softer and it kind of stays that way. But because it's super technical. And so I figured like, it's a little softer, it's less tippy, like, you know, any high stack shoe has ankle roll stuff and no issues. It's golden.
Now, do you mess with your shoes or socks at all once you put them on, like at States or Cape Town, or is it just a set it, forget it sort of
A
situation?
lot of people at Cape Town change shoes and socks at that where I missed that turn on that beach because you
Yeah.
come down, you're like down this road, and then you like go through someone's yard. Like you can't preview this part of the course because it's just like the guy like opens his gate and that's what you run
Oh
down
wow.
into
Okay.
this like embankment of like loose sand and trash that you run
I think
down
I've
for like
seen pictures of this section.
it's heinous. Like I didn't know it was there because I previewed the course and the GPX file from the race just has you on the roads because they don't want you going through this man's backyard.
Oh, okay.
And then you do it in real life, and I was like, wait, what the hell? This is not what I thought it was. And it is just loose sand. Your shoes are just filled with sand, and it is not a sexy trail at all. And then you run across this beach and do a stream crossing. And so I had shoes and socks ready to change, but it ended up being that the sand kind of just like flushed out of my shoes when I went through the creek. And
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
determined the amount of grit that was left in my shoes was acceptable to remain there.
Okay.
But I haven't done a shoe change yet with that shoe. In a
That's pretty
race.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I've definitely noticed in running because when I was doing all the follow cam stuff at States this year, that was what I threw on because I was like trying to put myself in the race day mindset just for keeping up with
yeah,
the
yeah.
lead pack for like what 2 miles up the escarpment and then
I remember talking to
following.
you there. Yeah, you weren't allowed
Yeah,
to talk to me.
I know that. Yeah, I know. I kind of want to be like the cameraman that didn't. Well, it sounds like he didn't know that there was a turn that got missed. At for
Oh
the,
yeah,
the
he didn't
Garmin
know the
turn on the
course.
beach.
Yeah,
If he had known, uh,
that would have
kudos
been
to him.
savage.
Kudos to him for not saying anything. Because as much as that sucks, I think we should be pretty invisible as like
Yeah,
camera runners because that
yeah.
would have been like a pretty big influence on the race. Like that's part of trail racing. Yeah, that.
I don't know. I think I'm okay with camera runners telling you if you take a wrong turn.
Well, that's yeah, but like,
As a
what if you
person
were in?
racing, I'm like, that's nice. Like, ideally, this is not a navigational race, right? Like,
Ideally, no,
um,
but like you weren't following the flags.
that's true. I guess I was literally just looking to the end of the beach and
Yeah.
forgot about flags.
How am I tying this back to the Cloud Ultra Pro? Oh, the upper, the breathability and the drainability of the upper does seem like it's pretty optimized for these hot weather races.
Yeah, and to be honest, the shoe designer who was working on the shoe for several years before it came out,
Sergey?
Sergi, yeah, Sergi's the
Yeah.
man. I literally every time I'm in the shoe, I like thank Sergi in my head. Um, and he showed us the upper, and I was like, no, it's no good. It's too holy. Like there's too many holes. It's not going to work. And I was really concerned it wasn't going to work well in sand, like specifically Western states. I was like, I don't think this is the shoe for states.
Hmm.
Once I ran in the shoe, I ate my words because it
Then it made sense.
if like it seems more like with a tighter knit mesh, stuff gets just stuck in the mesh. Like it still gets in, then it stays in.
Yeah.
Whereas this, like I ran through that creek and like my shoe flushed out. Like it was good.
Yeah.
This had loose sand at this race. It was fine. which was really, really nice. Like I was still a little worried about it, and then pretty thrilled when it worked great.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really cool. I love seeing just all the innovation and the tech that's going into these sort of shoes. Especially more so than just like take a road super shoe and put some tread on it.
Yeah,
The Cloud Ultra Pro. I mean, there's a handful of other companies that are doing it too, where it's like it's its own being.
yeah. This shoe is totally built from the ground up. Um, and Sergi like literally looked at UTMB and he's like, why do people slow down? What makes it slow down? How does footwear factor into that? How do we make footwear that addresses this problem?
Yeah.
So it also wasn't just, I think some companies like, yeah, throw tread on a road shoe or like try to copy other companies' shoes. And I feel like Sergi and On really built this from the ground up, and I think it shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's also because it's like unique. You can't really say it's like
yeah,
this other competitor shoe. It's like kind of yeah. It's a unique footwear platform and everything, which is cool. For like a typical training week, how often do you put that Cloud Ultra Pro on?
I mean, 5 or 6 days out of 7.
So
It's
you're
like,
running it quite a bit.
yeah, I run in worn out ones. It doesn't wear out. It's the best. Like, this is why I'm also like, it's the best shoe because I mean, I can have all the shoes in the world. Luxury being a professional runner, I morally can't do it. I like still wear my shoes into the ground.
Mm.
And the Ultra Pro, I was already thinking like this pair I just wore, it's now got 100 miles on them, 60 of which were brutal, that it wears down. And like once it packs out, it is my favorite training shoe.
Huh.
Like it's just like a nice shoe
Yeah.
after a couple 100 miles. And because those super foams can't stay super for forever.
Yeah.
And this one, I mean, I still have like, I'm still running in the pair that I wore at States. I still have them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I've put like 400 plus miles on a couple pairs of them. And they're white, so they look really dirty. But
yeah.
they just like pack out kind of nice. The tread doesn't wear down that much. And yeah, I run them into the ground.
Huh.
So that's usually my go-to.
Yeah. What else do you have in the rotation? Do you run on the roads much?
I do a little bit, yeah. I'll wear the carbon plated road shoe, the Cloud Boom Strike, for some like up tempo road stuff. I really like doing like brisk 20-mile runs, so great shoe for that. But then if I'm just like recovery days, I might wear the Cloud Monster.
Yeah.
And I like the original Cloud Monster too, more than the new
Dude,
ones.
That's one of my favorite shoes of all time.
It's so good.
I almost ran States in it in 2022.
It would be good. The Cloud Monster Hyper is also really good.
Yeah.
It's got some PIBA in the front. And then the Cloud Vista 3, I think it's on now. I'll run in that a bit. Little like lower, slimmer profile. And the Cloud Ultra 3, like the non-super version.
Yeah.
I'll run in that a little bit too. I might like the worn out Cloud Ultra Pro more though.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Trend it almost, but they become similar. But I just, yeah.
Yeah, you got you have actually two different variants of the Cloud Ultra Pro.
After like a couple 100 miles, it becomes a perfect training shoe.
Yeah. That's interesting. You wear like pretty high performance shoes for most of your running.
Yes. Although I also like.
I'm not judging. That was just an observation.
No, it's curious. It also I ran into this when I was training for States. Was like I felt like I was doing a long run every day.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I want some cushion. And so was the Ultra Pro. Just like I did some pretty hefty weeks, and I needed cushion, so it was good. But I used to. I mean, there was a time I didn't wear shoes at all.
Huh?
In college.
What does that mean?
I was just barefoot, Jeff. I bathed in a river and didn't wear shoes for a semester.
You were like, going to class like this?
Yeah, I didn't wear shoes to class. I had my professor for my ecology class stopped me afterwards and said, Jeff, I just want to tell you how envious I am of your relationship with Mother Earth. And I
Oh,
was
they
like,
weren't like stopping you to ask if you were doing okay.
no, my statistics professor didn't appreciate it. My ecology professor loved it.
What college was this at?
St. Lawrence University. No one else
I'm
did
not familiar.
this. It was a little,
Okay.
you got to have your phase where you don't wear shoes.
I
Um,
don't know if I've had that phase yet. So I guess it's still coming for me.
it's still coming. That's unfortunate because it's way more permissible in college. It's awkward when you're
Yeah.
like in your 30s and
I'm
have
gonna
a
have to
kid.
go back to college.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay.
Good time in life.
So you've really gone full circle then, because now you're in like high stack, PIBA,
Yeah, but
high
like I like to think
performance.
I've got strong feet. Like I'm
Yeah,
using
no,
my
there's
barefoot a
probably
lot.
something to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Um, well, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you for sharing like what's in your weekly shoe rotation.
Yeah.
Um, Going back to the race day fit. So, you said you had the arm sleeves, you've got kind of your, I don't know, it's like your look now. Like
It's so
you're owning it.
regrettable. I just like the races I've done well at, like Javelina States and now this one, I'm wearing the same stupid outfit in all of them. It is not intentional.
But it's good. It's like recognizable cartoon characters are recognizable because they wear the same outfit every time they're on TV.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna
So
run
it's probably
UTMB
good
in
for the
that.
brand.
You know, it'll be 40 degrees again, and I'll have my sun hat on.
So I notice in most of the pictures, your flappy hat isn't flappy. It's tucked into the ice bandana.
Day
What's
on
is there a
makes
reason
one
for that?
with a well, yeah. Otherwise, it's just blown in the wind.
And
Um,
that's you don't like. Does it get stuffy though?
no, if you keep it wet, you're good. The key is wet.
Okay.
Everything's gonna be wet the whole time, every
Yeah.
minute.
So you're like your top of your head's wet too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you
I
should
like spray
you
down the cape.
okay.
So I
And
either
then you
tuck it
keep and then it's
in
got a button.
or I've got one with a button. Yeah.
Okay. And you were showing your ice hat is a little bit more tricked out than mine.
I do.
Can
I
we
have a
can we talk about some of the features of the
this
ice hat?
this I've got a zipper on this bad boy, so I can
And that's like a cranial top
cranial zipper. Yeah.
cranial zipper. Okay.
But what's awesome is I could my crew would fill up my ice hat and eventually it's just faster just to put the ice in the hat and then I'd slap it on
Yeah.
and I'd have like how ice cubes you like break up the bag of ice and there's always like some chunks. I'd
Yeah.
have these chunks that were like I had this like dorsal fin on my head.
So you look like you've just been born.
Full cone head, yeah. It's fantastic and yeah, more of the regrettable look. But
So you got an expandable ice hat
and then the
tucked
arm
in or snapped
sleeves.
into the ice band. And then do you put ice in the arm sleeves? You just
Yep.
keep them wet.
Yeah, put
Ice in the arm sleeves. Okay.
The arm sleeves are really cool. I don't have them with me, but they fully cover like the whole back of your hand. And then there's a thumb hole, and then there's also a watch hole. So like I can like make it so my watch comes out,
That is nice.
which is really cool.
And those are white,
Yeah.
by design.
And largely, I brought them to Cape Town not planning to use them, but I figured I'd rather
really?
bring them than not. Yeah, and then when I found out the UV index was astronomically high,
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that I should not get sunburned, and that I
Yeah.
would if I didn't wear them. And I think that gets underappreciated by a lot of people. Is
Dude, getting sunburnt is bad.
like our skin is how we're cooling ourselves. If you're in a hot race, why would you burn the organ that is cooling you?
Well, and that also means the surface temperature of it is getting hotter than it should
Yeah,
be.
yeah. And so that's why I do my little suit, because if I've got arm sleeves on that are white, filled with ice and water, they're now doing the sweating for me. I'm not getting sunburned. I'm sweating through ice all over me, and like my ears aren't getting sunburned, the back of my neck's not getting sunburned, the hat's covering my face. I feel like we all look towards like what's this little performance enhancing thing we can do, like I don't know, some supplement, whatever. just put on sunscreen or put on
Put on
arm sleeves.
sunscreen.
Stay wet.
Yeah.
Like that's better than don't buy a sauna, buy arm sleeves. You'll be so much
That's
happier.
probably more economical as well.
Yeah, you could buy like I don't know, 400 pairs of arm sleeves for the cost of a
Well, I'm not an octopus, Jeff.
sauna.
Man, at this point, I guess my request to On is, can we please release the Jeff capsule so I can like get the
Hey,
kit, you know.
on the website
Last quarter was Zendaya. Now we've got the Jeff capsule.
when you like click a like an item, it'll be like shop this look, and it like
Yes.
shows it like styled another way. I would die if it was like shop this look and it's me in my suit.
Well, I for one am going to be making a push for that. That's for sure.
Fantastic. I love it. Let's do it.
So, as we wind down here a little bit, I feel like as 2025, has this been the most successful race year for you?
I think so. Um,
It feels like it. You've had some bangers.
yeah, I raced 5 times. Well, I did skimo through the winter, so like I didn't do a
Yeah.
winter race, and then did canyons and got fourth. It was a fine day. Wasn't like bad. Wasn't good. Which I was
Mhm.
stoked. I was like, yeah, fourth on like a so-so day is great. And then fourth at states, dropped out of UTMB. 2 weeks later, I ran the Rut 28K for shits and
Yeah.
giggles. Felt pretty rough, but got fourth there too. So going into Cape Town, my wife was like, Jeff, you can't get fourth again. Like I was fourth at Canyons, fourth at States, fourth at the Rut. And there was a minute at Cape Town when I fell to third, and I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna get fourth again. Like I can't even go
Oh
home if I
man.
get fourth. Thankfully, broke my streak and won, so no more fourth places.
Oh yeah, I guess that was a question that I should have asked. I don't know, maybe the beginning was Ultra Trail Cape Town always on the 2025 schedule?
It's been like a maybe for like a couple years.
Okay.
I've been really intrigued by it, but it just hasn't like fit great yet. And this year, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do a late fall race. Um, my wife and I are going on. We got married in September, and we're headed off on our honeymoon for her. She's in graduate school, so has winter
Oh,
break
nice.
off. And so I wanted to race like as close to the start of her break as possible, so that I could just shut things down and like have a little recoup time and not have to worry about training like usual. So I wanted to do a late fall race. I knew Cape Town would work pretty well. Didn't sign up until like September, I think. I wanted to make sure things felt okay after UTMB. Um, they did, and yeah, I'm glad I did it. And now I'm stoked to relax and honeymoon, not
Nice. Yeah,
train for a minute.
that sounds great. Yeah, don't worry about running. Just go enjoy life. Are you gonna try and put together a skimo season through this winter?
No, I'm not gonna race much on skis. I'll train a lot on skis, not race a
Okay.
lot. Um, Madison and I, my partner, will be in New Zealand for the mid-December to mid-January, and I'll come back and it'll be winter, it'll be sweet, but I'm not gonna super focus on skimo. I love it; it's really fun, but honestly, doing the National Cup circuit is very expensive and time-consuming and stressful. I think last winter I learned what the max travel I can tolerate is, and it was so fun. I like dreamed of making the skimo team for I think I started skiing like 5 years ago, and I was like, haha, maybe I'll make the skimo team. And then
Dude,
then
that's amazing.
it became this like ruthless goal. I was just like, I gotta figure this shit out. And
You didn't start skiing until 5 years ago?
no, I was 27. Yeah, I'm 32 now. So yeah, 5 years ago.
Dude, that might be the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
No, I mean I skied a couple times when I was little, and then I got a ski accident, and I have a scar here that's like from my goggles being indented
Oh,
into my
classic.
face when I was 6.
Yeah.
Um, and then I snowboarded a little bit growing up, and then yeah, picked up skiing in the winter of 2020, 2021. And I swore I would never race. I was like, I'm just doing this for fun, for cross training, because I trained in Missoula like the winter before and just cooked myself. Like
Yeah.
it's cloudy, it's cold, you're running on snow and ice,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of just broke myself. And so that winter, I got like a lighter pair of skis, not like skimo race skis. Learned to ski on those, which people make fun of me for because they're still like very small skis.
Yeah.
And then accidentally did a race, I guess. Um,
Okay.
Signed up for the Wasatch Powder Keg, and which is like a big race in the U.S. It's the national championship, and I was just gonna do it on my non-skimo skis, and then the week before I was supposed to leave, I broke them, and I borrowed Seth Swanson's skis from Missoula.
Mm.
He just had this old pair, but they're race skis, like the little itty bitty skimo skis. I borrowed Mike Foot's like skimo suit, and I was just excited to wear a one piece of spandex. I was like, "This
Oh,
is
for
sick."
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I'd never done used skimo skis before, and they're very different. And I like crawled into the first transition. Like my skins were falling off, and I was literally on all fours crawling. And the volunteer, like they didn't know what to do, and I just like I arrived like fully laying down in the snow, and and
Face
then
plant
I
again.
yeah again, and then I like start descending, and it was the hardest thing I'd ever skied in my life, and I'm on these tiny skis, like they're so small, and it was an absolute shit show. And afterwards, I was like, yeah, I think I should try to make the national team.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
I got my doors blown off by everyone, and then I don't know. It felt like something I shouldn't do, so I figured I should do it,
Nice.
and became a little myopically obsessed with it. And I feel like I've emerged from that now.
That's
Back to
cool.
a
Yeah.
training tool.
So I guess last question I've got for you before I let you go is how much planning have you put into 2026 on the racing front?
Ooh, I'm putting in some planning. Um,
Yeah.
I'm going back to states. That's the big
All
goal.
right.
Um, yeah, definitely focusing on that. I think I can run a lot faster, and I want to find out how fast. Um, and I want to run with slightly less ice. And this past year, I dropped out of UTMB again. I keep getting worse at it. My first time
Uh-oh.
was my best time. I think I've only gotten better as an athlete, and I've only performed worse there. And I think I'm going to take off next year from UTMB, but spend the next 2 years like figuring this out. Um,
Right.
so I'll probably do a race in the spring that has like a midnight start, so I can practice some nighttime running. I get severely
Mm.
motion sick, and so like I need to figure that out, and it's hard. Um,
Yeah.
and I do poorly fueling in the cold, and so I've got to figure that out as well. Um, I don't like running in the heat, but apparently I'm good at it. So
Yeah.
I
What a
gotta figure out if it's
bummer.
cold. I know. I have way more fueling problems when it's cold out. Way more.
That's unique.
Um, yeah, so I think I'll do a spring 100K that's has some component of it that's from UTMB. So kind of like pulling out one of the things from UTMB that I struggle with and focusing on it. And then I might do Run Rabbit Run instead of UTMB.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Run through the night. They have generally more pleasant nights with less like fog. That's what messes me up
Right.
with the headlight. Um,
Yeah.
I basically get car sick.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think 100K in the spring. I'm looking at a couple different ones, states, and then maybe Run Rabbit Run. Maybe something else tucked in there too.
Sweet. Well, that's
I don't know.
exciting.
The
Sounds like a
OCC
good.
Run Rabbit Run double could happen. I think it's 3 weeks separated.
Oh man. Yeah.
That could be fun.
That's
Sometimes it's only two.
OCC runner.
So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's plenty of time.
yeah, we'll
You
see.
could just a tune up. All right. Well, thank you, Jeff, for your time. Thanks for sharing a little bit of the ins and outs of what it takes to win Ultra Trail Cape Town, and thanks for expanding on why you look so good during these races.
Thanks so much for having me on, Brett, and I look forward to seeing you in an all white suit at your next race.